The original text is a richly detailed narrative about a lost treasure and a city intertwined with fate, rooted in the legends of the Aztec civilization and the events of La Noche Triste. It weaves together historical background, the impact of the Spanish conquest, and the enduring mystery of lost Aztec gold, along with the cultural and psychological ramifications of the curse that allegedly follows the treasure. The text is structured into several chapters, from the historical rise of the Aztecs to modern archaeological research and the deep cultural impact of the legend, culminating in a conclusion that emphasizes both the historical legacy and the haunting mystery. In translating, I have preserved the narrative tone, section headings, and detailed descriptions while ensuring that idiomatic expressions and cultural references are appropriately rendered in English. English translation: In the misty valleys of Mexico, a treasure legend from the depths of history has found its place for centuries in both historical records and folk tales. The splendor and richness of the Aztec civilization, as exemplified by the time when Spanish conquerors flung open the city's gates on that dark night, has merged with the lost story of gold to become one of today's most intriguing mysteries. That unforgettable night, known as La Noche Triste, was not only a military defeat, but also a legendary turning point marking the disappearance of Aztec gold, sacred treasures, and a cursed fortune. This narrative brings to light the horrific truth behind the lost gold and the story interwoven with the city's curse through meticulous archival research and cultural studies. Chapter 1. Historical background. The rise of the Aztec Empire. The Aztecs, with the vast empire they built on Mexican soil, produced extraordinary works in both art and architecture. Their wealth, their temples and palaces adorned with gold and precious metals, became the subject of legends. At the heart of this civilization, the sacred gold treasures were guarded with devotion to their gods and rituals, passed down from generation to generation over the centuries. Gold was not only a symbol of wealth, but also an expression of faith and power. The Aztecs offered gold to their deities, used it in their rituals, and in doing so imbued their civilization with a mystical aura, employing various protective rituals to ensure that the gold would never be lost. However, with the arrival of the Spanish conquerors in the 16th century, the splendor of the Aztec civilization was rapidly obliterated. During the conquest and plundering, the legendary gold treasures were believed to possess not only material value, but also sacred and mystical energy. This treasure played a central role both in the Aztec spiritual world and in the greed of the Spanish conquerors, and the legend of the lost gold has been a subject of debate for many years. In 1520, after encountering fierce resistance in Tenochtitlan, Hernán Cortés and his army were forced to retreat in a great defeat. That night, remembered with tears and sorrow as La Noche Triste, was indelibly recorded in history as a dramatic turning point symbolizing the cruelty of war, the loss of the golden treasures, and the collapse of a civilization. In the streets of the city, where the lost gold once gleamed, now there resounded anguished screams, dark shadows, and the silent whispers of the dead. That night not only witnessed a military withdrawal, but also gave rise to numerous legends concerning the sanctity of the Aztec gold and the disappearance of a cursed fortune. On that fateful night, countless precious metals lost by Cortez's army are still being sought by modern archaeologists and legend researchers. The traces of the lost gold remain hidden underground among forgotten temple ruins, echoing as a cursed secret. The gloomy atmosphere of that night has left an indelible mark on the modern mind, heralding a deep tragedy and the presence of mystical energies. After La Noche Triste, most of the gold captured by the Spanish conquerors was either hidden within secret underground tunnels beneath the city or trapped in the ruins of lost temples, while some of it was never fully recovered. In the Aztec belief system, gold was seen as a symbol of the bond with the gods and the very existence of their civilization. Thus, the loss of the gold was interpreted not merely as a material loss, but also as the disruption of sacred energy. Legends tell that the gold was guarded by a curse, and that if thieves triggered this curse, the city would face an ill-fated destiny. Today, archaeological excavations aimed at tracking down this lost gold involve not only the search for material wealth, but also a detailed examination of mystical rituals, ancient symbols, and the belief systems of the Aztecs. Some of the findings, ancient inscriptions and symbols, offer clues to the locations where the gold was hidden, while others reveal traces of the city's cursed past. Each relic forms a part of a forgotten story that carries the silent screams of the past. The legend behind the lost gold is recounted as a curse that surpasses mere material value. The Aztecs held elaborate rituals to protect the sanctity of gold. They believed that if the gold were lost, the wrath of the gods and the disruption of sacred energy would change the fate of the city. The efforts of Cortés and his men to seize the gold upset this sacred balance, not only heralding the bitter consequences of a conquest, but also foretelling the arrival of a unique curse. In hidden underground chambers and among the ruins of ancient temples, areas claimed to have housed the lost gold continue to be examined by modern archaeologists. Some findings reveal markings, symbolic signs, and ritual traces that indicate where the gold might have been concealed, while also showing how the tragedy experienced in these places became intertwined with the spiritual fabric of the Aztec civilization. The curse is described as a chilling energy felt in some parts of the city, a force that leaves deep impressions in the human psyche at the crossroads of the ancient civilization's downfall and the complex emotions of modern times. Unlike Los Angeles, the traces of the ancient civilization that lie at the heart of Mexico continue to exist in a blended form with modern urban life. The story of the lost gold and the curse has been recounted over the years as a tale of unforgettable sorrows, tragedies, and spiritual effects that scar the city. Among the people on the streets of Mexico, the curse of the lost gold, how it brings misfortune to the city, has been passed down through generations in various legends and folk narratives. In these tales, the theft and loss of the gold are seen not merely as a material setback, but as an indication of the god's wrath. In some parts of the city, sudden misfortunes, abrupt disasters, and terrifying events are interpreted as harbingers of this curse. Every calamity reinforces the belief that the lost gold and the sacred fortune have been sealed with a curse, a belief that has left deep marks on the local culture and become a symbol of an unforgettable tragedy throughout history. Recent archaeological excavations, detailed examinations of ancient inscriptions, and studies of underground tunnels are among the significant efforts to uncover traces of the lost gold and its curse. Modern technology, along with the digitization of old maps, ancient symbols, and ritual remnants, offers new clues about the lost treasures of the Aztec civilization. Researchers are comparing the data they have gathered with ancient sources to determine in which temples the gold was kept and under what ritual frameworks. These studies involve not only the material traces, but also a detailed analysis of the Aztecs' belief systems, their devotion to their gods, and the sacred rituals they practiced. The theories surrounding the disappearance of the gold are being reinterpreted in light of modern archaeology and ancient texts, and the details regarding the cursed regions are supported by scientific techniques. This approach brings together historical facts and folk legends to offer new perspectives on the horrifying truth behind the lost gold. The story of the lost gold and its curse is measured not only by its historical and archaeological dimensions, but also by the deep impressions it leaves on human psychology and cultural memory. Under the influence of mystical and tragic events, the human mind tends to relive the sorrowful tales of the past. The narrative told on the streets of Mexico reflects the deep traumas created by the downfall of an ancient civilization, showing how greed, power, and the curse resonate within the human soul. This narrative reveals the spiritual impact on visitors of these places, the silent whispers heard on cold nights, and the inner tension produced by forgotten sorrows. The intense emotion felt at every step is a sign of not only confronting one's own darkness, but also of reviving the traces of the past. This story, preserved in cultural memory through generations, remains an experience that touches the complex emotional fabric of the modern world. The Lost Treasure at the Heart of Mexico is a unique story that combines the splendor of the Aztec civilization with the complex tensions of the modern world. In the wake of La Noche Triste, the mystery behind the lost gold raises profound questions about both historical realities and cultural legends. The disappearance of the gold is not merely a loss of material value, but also a harbinger of sacred beliefs, divine wrath, and a curse. Modern archaeological excavations, digital archiving projects, and advanced analytical techniques are all striving to trace the lost treasure. Along with the ancient rituals practiced by the Aztecs and the tragedies that accompanied the rise of their civilization, every piece of evidence is an effort to shed a little more light on the secret behind the lost gold. With the precision provided by modern science, these painful stories of the past are being brought into the present. This narrative comprehensively examines the dark tale of Mexico's lost gold and La Noche Triste from both scientific and cultural perspectives, revealing a tragedy positioned at the intersection of historical facts and legendary elements. The disappearance of the gold, the curse upon the city, and the sacred legacy of the Aztecs are reinterpreted through modern technology, offering a model for more detailed future investigations of similar mysteries. Mexico's lost gold is not merely a treasure story. It is also a living phenomenon where the past, beliefs, and the deep traumas of the human soul converge. The dark night of La Noche Triste, blending the splendor and downfall of the Aztec civilization with the complex emotions of modern times, has transformed into an unforgettable tale. Every detail, from the streets of the city to the ruins of ancient temples and the underground tunnels, carries sacred traces that echo the silent screams of the past and the profound effect of the curse. This video meticulously presents the terrifying truth behind Mexico's lost gold in the light of historical documents, archaeological findings, and cultural legends. When the painful traces of the past are combined with the analytical methods of modern technology, they reveal not only a material loss, but also the deep traumas created by sacred beliefs and curses. This comprehensive study stands as a reflection of historical facts and cultural memory that touches the depths of the human soul and inspires hopeful research for the future. The story of Mexico's lost gold and La Noche Triste brings together the unforgettable legacy of the past and the complex tensions of the modern world, carrying the horrifying truth that curses a city into the present. With every step, the traces of this curse evoke a deep echo in the human mind. The silent screams of the past, illuminated by modern science and cultural research, inspire new hopes and solutions for the future.